Hi, this is Jack. Okay, masturbation. Okay, so this is like a more serious topic than more serious. Okay, masturbation is an interesting manifestation within human beings. Now, masturbation is a system implant. Masturbation, specifically human beings who are addicted to masturbation, pornography, etc., going the route of masturbation instead of actual penetrated sexual experience. There are many human beings in this world with such specific systems, because those are the systems that are actually supporting child abuse, rape, and molestation of children in this world. Why is that? Why would such systems be manifested within human beings in this world to support such manifestations? Okay, that system is the balancing of the entire sex system of this world. Understand that when systems are manifested in this world, they always require a balancing point. That's how programs work. Programs are equated to a specific mathematical equation of manifestation experience, but within that experience you always have what is referred to as the anomaly. But now, to make sure that human beings remain enslaved within the sex system, because a fascinating thing, sex is the key to self-expression as life, as who you are. Fascinating. But on that topic I will experience more. But firstly, so it is fascinating that sex would be the actual center point of, or the point where self-expression is who you are as life comes forth. Yet sex is the most deemed the most secretive and the most ghastly and the most ugly and the most dirty thing in the world. The world is in reverse. So, to make sure that human beings don't discover their self-expression through sexual intercourse or experience, they manifested the masturbation system. Now, the masturbation system is like human beings who stand as beams in this world, through which stabilizes the entire sexual system within the rest of humanity. So, you have human beings who won't go into a relationship scenario. Their life will basically be programmed that way to not be able to go into a relationship, to not have any woman be attracted to them any way whatsoever. They not particularly wanting to experience sex because, well, the desire for sex is so great, but they know they're not able to experience it in a relationship, and then therefore diverted to masturbation. Now, in this masturbation, what do human beings require to masturbate? Pictures, they require books, words, sounds, frequencies, songs, television, it's interesting. So what happens is that they divert to the picture world to be able to masturbate, and in many other forms they use materialistic things to activate the experience of an orgasm through masturbation, etc. So now this is how this entire system is set up within such human beings who only masturbate through using pictures, materialistic objects of this world, and that hold the entire sex system within all of humanity stable. So what happens then is, because they use pictures, because they use materialistic objects of this world, it kind of gets extensively out of hand, like completely. Now, because their orgasmic experience through masturbation is connected to a picture, it starts getting out of hand from the perspective of some human beings can look at flowers, use flowers for masturbation. Some use animals. When they see animals having sex, they become aroused. Some children. Others, God, they can walk inside a store and see a woman eating a cherry or something, and oh my God, they go all out of hand. Why? Because from the beginning, your entire system, your entire masturbation system has been set up to pictures, to any picture. It will get so bad that no matter where you walk, you'll just start getting aroused. You start what is referred to as horny. That's why it gets so out of hand. So, and then what happens, because it gets so out of hand and because you cannot control that energy balances itself out into men or women who who becomes angry because they're not able to have sex, and then they actually start abusing and raping and molesting younger children. Because they know they can't do it with grown-ups, because of course grown-ups won't allow them to do that, so they're able to divert their anger because of themselves, because they're not able to experience a sexual intercourse with another person. They cannot. It's impossible, because they can't hold a relationship. They don't know how. They don't know how to communicate. It's like they don't even know how to act, how to communicate, how to speak, how to be, because this entire masturbation system has taken them over completely, and they are fucked. And then what happens is, the only way, they're so abused within themselves, and they know it, that they divert this abuse onto younger children, because it's the only place where they're able to do it freely, where they're able to be in control of that abuse of themselves and to others. Because why children? Because children can't fight back. Children can't defend themselves. Children can't run away, because you're obviously stronger than that child. You're holding it down, and then that's where that abuse comes from. Excuse me for the specifics of this entire situation, but it's required to be understood, because it's never been understood in this world. And why not? And that's why everything is still allowed to be continued. You know why? Because people don't speak about it. People don't take the time to understand what the fuck is going on in this world. Why does child abuse exist? Why are those men or those women doing what they're doing to children? And this is it. This is why. Because of the masturbation systems that have been placed within those human beings to balance out and stabilize the rest of the sex system of this entire world, so that normal human beings in normal relationships can have their sex and feed the mind consciousness system of the world and the demons. It was like that, but not anymore. So that's why child abuse, molestation exists, because of the masturbation system inside human beings, that when they start using pornography and materialistic objects of this world to bring forth an orgasmic experience within them, because it's impossible for them to have an ordinary, normal relationship. And then they become more angry because they can't have a normal relationship. They want a normal relationship, but they know they can't have one. And they see everyone else having these wonderful, beautiful relationships, and then that anger within them grows, and then they're required to divert that anger out, and then they become angry at that very system within them, which is the sex system, and that's why they divert it through having sex by abusing children. Okay, thank you very much. This is Jack.